this morning. I have my Crimson Lights mug from Y&R, Young and Restless. Some cute coffee in it. Good morning, everyone. This is JLJ this morning. And you saw from the title, probably thinking, what is he going to talk about today? So I had a great interview with my girl, Audrey Hope. So if you're watching my channel stuff, go to A Lot of Help, which it should be on the front page also next to this. Her name is Audrey Hope. We talk about relationships and yourself. I love her. It's been a couple of years since she's been on the show. She's back, and we have a great conversation about self and other people. And it got me thinking. Soulmates, twin flames, love of lives, all those different words you use, my other half, all that kind of stuff. A lot of us seem to be looking for that, or wouldn't mind having it, or wanted it at one point in our lives, right? So I think we look for it in a certain form. We look at it as a certain form, a certain way. We're looking for it this way, and that's that. And then if it comes in another form, is it count? Is it still like, what does it all mean? I'll give you an example. Probably like, what the F are you talking about? I'll get there. I'm on TikTok, as one wants to do. I posted a few videos myself, and I try to skim if I can through, and there's some good, I have some friends on there. I try to see what they're posting, and I run across people who are live. There was a couple of chicks who are live, and I like their voices. I could just listen to their voices all day long. I love their voice. One sounds like Adele. Yes, like that Adele. She says she doesn't hear it, of course. Of course she doesn't hear it, of course, because it's her voice. But we all say she does. And there's another chick who also has, I love her voice. Now, they both kind of practice non-Christian things in terms, meaning one has a book called The Book of Answers, which I actually have that book. I didn't realize I had that book. Another one has this device where it's like you hit this little thing and it points to either yes, never, no, maybe, or something like that, or always, like that. You think it's like yes, never, no, always, like that. And you hit it, you ask a question, and it points to one of the things. So I don't generally always believe in all that stuff. I don't practice it. I'm not really into it. But I believe in energy. I do believe that we don't use all of our brain. That's science. We don't use our full brain. I think we do have intuition. I think we do have some psychic abilities. I think that's possible because we don't use all of our brain. I think subconscious mind, conscious mind. I believe in all that. But the other stuff, I'm not sure. Not all of them are, like, is that right? I don't know if that's true or not. How credible they are. But I do believe in metaphysics a little bit. I do believe in just I believe in God and a higher power and all that. But I do believe that we have energy. We're all energy. We're made up of energy, and there's certain things. Energy, chemistry, all of that. That's something that is human. That's what we have down here. So it's funny that one of the nights I was I was watching and listening. A lot of times I'll be on the bed. I have this little thing that I sit next to my bed that I sit it in and I can just listen to it. And I'm like, just like laying there, just listening to it. Not really even watching, because nothing to watch, because both of these women don't show their faces. They just kind of show the device so you can see it, so you can see the answer. And I was listening. And so I thought, yeah, I'm gonna say something. And I asked who was my soulmate. And I'm not gonna say names. I mean, it's up to them if I want to say names one day or whatever. I'm not ashamed of anyone, but I'm not gonna say anything because I haven't told them to do in this video. But one name I said, and I said it literally as like, I'm sure, almost to shake her credibility, because I'm like, this person, I know we're not soulmates at all, but I'm just curious what she says, and it came up, no, we're not. I said name. That's okay. And there was somebody that was just like, somebody just far out that I thought they'd be kind of funny. And if they said yes, we're like, okay, sure, whatever. But then I asked one that I thought would be interesting, because it's very interesting. And this person, it said yes, that we were soulmates. And I was shocked. And I asked the question another way, and it went back to yes. So 2 different ways I've asked this question, and this person supposedly is my one, so to speak. Now, I know the person. So part of it, I'm like, there's some key things that are missing. So I don't know if they were in play, then yes, that I would go, oh, okay. But I still went okay because there are other things, and so this goes into is can your soulmate be someone you don't expect? Can it be a friend? Can it be a relative? For a lot of twins, they feel like they're literally twin flames are each other, to each other. It could be a close cousin where you're super close, you're like siblings, you're really close, or it could be a friend, could be a coworker. Like, that's something that it made me really open up to that whole possibility. And I was talking to another friend of mine about that, and was like, "Well, look at the person they said is your soulmate. Like, really look at your relationship and look at them as a person." And that's what I did. I started to analyze and go, well, in this instance, I can see that, and in this instance, I can see that, and we do get along here, and we do have a lot in common there. We do love and care about each other. Another show that I did on this show, I talked about making friendships being hard as an adult, and many of you guys were agreeing with me. I said, yeah, it says when you're an adult, because a lot of times it's easier when you're in college or in school somewhere because you're all together and you're brought together for a reason, or you're at a job where I want to say brick and mortar. But it's a physical place you go to, and you work together 10, 12 hours a day, and so you hang out afterwards. Like it's easier to make those kind of friendships. But when you're as like little satellites, and when you're like a entrepreneur and you're an entrepreneur, and you have to actually work on the friendship to actually make it happen, it happens less and less frequently, right? People just move on about their business. You don't live near me, blah, blah. But this person, we actually have become really good friends, really close friends. I know a lot about him. He knows a lot about me. And it's very interesting that the friendship was unexpected for me. I didn't expect that. It started out as we worked at a similar place. We do some similar things. You come on this, I come on that. Who knew a friendship was going to be born out of it? And I have several friendships that just shocked me all the time. Like, oh my God. But I mean, not that they were friends, but that the friendship actually was born. Um, it's easier for me to make friends these days than actually have a relationship with a romantic relationship. Apparently, that's not happening. But friendships are a little easier. So this person, we actually we're different generations. We have different things, but we have a lot in common. Actually, that works. And whenever we have an issue, we talk it out. We always talk it out, and that's communication. We both communicate. And I appreciate that. A lot of things about him I admire, and other things about him he admires me. So it's interesting. So maybe go, okay, so soulmate. It may not be what you think it might look like. That's opening me up to thinking about life and about relationships and that whole notion of finding the one. Like, what does that mean? And also, I mean, it could be maybe this person is the one, and we had no idea in this form. It may not look like that way. Maybe later it becomes that way. Like you never know that either. Like there's some people I know who say they were friends first for years, dating other people, doing like, and all of a sudden they get together. One of the craziest stories is Shania Twain. Her husband and their best friend's wife get together. Then later, Shania and said best friend's husband get together. It was almost like wife swap, husband swap, or whatever. That's, or I have another friend of mine who was like, we were friends for like 30 years, and then looked over one day and was like, you're the one. And they got married. And I've had the opposite where I had an uncle who was with someone for like 16 years, got married, divorced in 2. So, I mean, my mom's been was married several times. My father several times. Their latest relationships have lasted the longest. So I mean, like I guess it's turning my world upside. This one little funny thing I decided to do one night on TikTok has turned my whole thing upside down. It's made me think of just relationships in a very different way. Of what is what if the person I meant to be closest to is not exactly the relationship I thought it was going to be? That's a thought. That's a whole. I know it's too early for all that, right? That's all you think it's morning time, James. You can't think of all that right now. But let's keep that in mind. Like, what if somebody right in front of you is literally your soulmate, and you're looking for someone else to be the soulmate so heavily that you're missing out on the person right in front of you? What if your way of thinking was not broad or wide enough to bring in a possibility? Maybe it's time to broaden your mind and go, yeah, I should open up to more possibilities. And because for me, my mind is very broad, so I can catch things that come my direction. You go, okay, and that's why I always like different experiences in my life, because I'm open to the universe, open to what may come. And I realize as I get older, not everything is black or white, or everything. There's lots of shades of gray. Not everything is one thing or the other. People are complex human beings, and I realize relationships are complex too. There's the whole emotional relationships. There's the physical ones. There's the ones that are both. There are ones that are platonic. There are ones that are with walls up. There are ones that are walls down. Like there's so many different kinds of relationships out there. I mean, so many different variations that work for people that I keep my mouth shut. I know folks who are in thruples, triads, call them triads back in the day. There's three of them together. It seems to work. I know one that they've been doing it for. Myself personally, I couldn't do it, but I know someone who's been doing it for about 10 years. They was in 15, and somehow it's working. So I don't know. We'll keep up to date with the soulmate situation. Who knows? Maybe I'll do another show on it. Maybe I'll bring my soulmate on one day. Who knows on the show? Who knows? We'll see. I'll show you who it is. But I just think it's opened my mind to a lot of possibilities in terms of thinking it slightly differently. Keep an open mind. You never know. We're on this earth for a very finite amount of time. So I guess the big picture is just, enjoy as much as you can. Enjoy relationships as much as you can. Enjoy those people. Really, appreciate them while they're here. And I do. I appreciate this person very much. And so just continue doing that until we leave. I know I feel like we're going to somewhere, but I mean, when we leave this earth. I'm James Lott Jr. This is JLJ this morning. Have a good rest of your day. And if you have a soulmate or a soulmate situation story, let me know. Tell me down in the comments.